Alrighty, everyone. Thanks for joining. It's your boy Red Silk. So today we've got some breaking news. Uh, the U.S. just attacked Iran. We just hit some of their facilities, and yeah, I kind of figured this would happen. I just didn't think it'd be this soon. But I guess we'll get into it, and yeah, let's see what all the news outlets are saying, and we'll go from there. I saw the first 10 seconds of the video. I haven't clicked on the rest of it. Wanted to watch it with you guys, get a first reaction. So that's what we're gonna do. So yeah, let's get into it.
This is a Fox News alert. News from the President of the United States that there has been an attack inside Iran. Just moments ago, President Donald Trump putting out on Truth Social, we have completed our very successful attack on 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordo, Natanz, and Esfahan. All planes are now outside of Iran airspace. Again, this from President Donald Trump. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordo. All planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors. There is not another military in the world that could have done this. Now is the time for peace. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Again, that's just seconds ago from President Donald Trump on Truth Social, suggesting that those B-2 bombers that perhaps were on the way may have been behind this. We'll get more details on these 3 sites that the president said has been attacked inside Iran. This comes after days of negotiations to try to get Iran to the negotiating table. The President of the United States saying it would have to be unconditional surrender, saying enrichment would have to stop. We heard from negotiations in Europe that was not being accepted by the Iranians, that they would not stop enriching uranium. There was a thought that this could go as long as 2 weeks, as the president said he would decide within 2 weeks. However, 2 days is within 2 weeks. And now word from President Donald Trump that these attacks have happened. Again, interesting that 3 sites have been struck by U.S. bombers.
All right, so it was 3 facilities. I guess he's going to go into details of the actual sites that we hit. But yeah. I guess we are at war with Iran. I mean, hey, no complaints on my end. Gotta do what we gotta do to protect our own. But yeah, let's keep going. Let's see what else there is.
And this, again, we'll get more information about the exact targets and what bombs were used. We expect that the GBU-57, the bunker buster, the massive penetrator bomb, may have been one of those used. Fordo is a nuclear facility inside Iran that is roughly a half-mile deep underneath a rock mountain-like facility that has been said to be the site of a lot of the enrichment capability. Esfahan, believed to be a storage facility for enriched uranium, and Natanz, another part of the nuclear facilities. They have several throughout Iran. It has been long described as a very difficult and tedious effort to go
and this
after
is going to
these
be
nuclear sites.
This is going to be an issue for Iran because they've got so many and it's so spread out. I mean, essentially, it's going to be nonstop from us until I'm guessing one of 2 things happens. They stop producing nuclear capabilities, or we invade and they lose. I mean, I can't imagine Iran actually doing anything other than those 2 scenarios. But who knows, right? Yeah, let's keep going.
Sites, but the U.S. for the first time launching an attack inside Iran. Again, the President of the United States saying all of the planes are out of Iranian airspace. The bombings do continue.
That's got to be something too, right? First time we've ever attacked Iran. I don't know why. I feel like we've had conflicts with them, but I guess, yeah, never in actual, like, Iran proper, you would say, right? a lot of proxy wars and stuff like that. So, definitely interesting. Learn something new every day. Let's keep it going.
Continued by the Israelis inside Iran as this back and forth volley between Israel and Iran has continued for some 2 weeks. We expect not only from the Pentagon, but perhaps from the White House, although the White House this evening, has called a lid as far as meaning no one will talk after that. That may be changing now. Obviously, we have this Truth Social post from President Donald Trump.
Go figures, right? Some people care, right? I mean, people are going to care if it actually goes to full conventional war. But
can we get her up and?
I guess we'll have to wait and see, right, Voltage?
What we're hearing from military sources. Jennifer Griffin is live at the Pentagon. Let's bring Jennifer in. Jennifer, we're just getting word, obviously, with the president's announcement, what this looks like.
Well, Brett, we knew that there was something afoot this morning when we woke and heard that there were 6 B-2 bombers that had been seen leaving
true.
White
I mean, you're right. You're
Force
absolutely
Base,
right. But
last
a third
night
world
at
country
midnight.
with nuclear capabilities
So
is not something we'd like to
planes,
have,
we were
right?
told we're heading towards Guam.
It's like saying,
Now,
yeah,
Guam
we'll
would
let
have been an
Afghanistan
18-hour
have
flight
nuclear weapons.
into Iran. So it is likely that it was a different set of B-2 bombers that were used
Touche,
to bomb the
Voltage,
sites,
touche.
the 3 sites that the president mentioned tonight on Truth Social. That is the Fordo complex, which we've been watching all week. That is the massive main sort of what's known as the heart or the crown jewel of Iran's nuclear program. It's underneath that mountain just outside of Qom, which is 2 hours south of Tehran. That complex, we understand, has been bombed by those U.S. B-2 bombers tonight. Also, Isfahan, as well as Natanz. Natanz had another underground facility. Remember, before Fordo was built in 2006, Natanz had been the main enrichment site. It was also built underground. Israeli jets had been targeting it in the last week, but they had not been able to penetrate underground. So those U.S. B-2 bombers, which flew out of Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri, they would have taken out that underground facility. Natanz is interesting. You'll remember, Brett, it was the site of the Stuxnet virus, the cyber attack on those centrifuges years ago. But again, it was back up and running. And
everyone has their
what
reporter,
is
right?
surprising, I think, tonight is that the president announced that it was not 1 site, but 3 underground sites and sites inside Iran's nuclear program that were struck by the U.S. Air Force tonight.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, and it is something. We'll go.
I mean,
back
if you're
to
good
that
at your job, you're good at your job. You deserve your
Control Room,
kudos.
if we can put it up there just so that everybody can see it on the screen. The fact that this, first of all, this announcement comes from Truth Social. This is a president who has put out a lot of announcements, big announcements through Truth Social, and this is the biggest of them, probably his biggest decision. The very successful attack on 3 nuclear sites, as you said, Fordo, Natanz, and Esfahan, getting very specific there. And the payload, he says a full payload of bombs dropped on the primary site, Fordo. That suggests, Jennifer, as we had been saying for many days, that they may have made several passes at Fordo, considering that the experts were saying that just 1 probably wouldn't have gotten to the heart of that facility.
Well, remember, Brett, we've been reporting in recent days that Fordo is interesting because it has 2 entrance points. And we were told by experts who have followed the planning for this kind of strike for a long time that it would take at least 2 bombs from the B-2s, those MOPs, the massive ordnance penetrators. Those are 30,000-pound bombs, and each B-2 can carry 2 of them. Usually the way it works is that one of the MOP 30,000-pound bunker buster is dropped. It goes into a hole that's about a radius of about 25 feet, I'm told, and then the second bomb is dropped in the same hole. And so at first, that 30,000-pound bunker buster will go down about 200 feet, explode, and then make way for the second bomb, which falls into that exact 25-foot radius hole.
Someone messed up.
And of course, people are calling right now, so just a moment.
Oh, jeez.
And so what's interesting about it, Brett, is that you would have had to have at least 2 B-2s, but I believe that it was likely a package of 6 B-2s that would be flying. They each had two
each, obviously.
massive ordnance penetrators on board at the time, and they would have hit both those entrances at Fordo. The president saying that Fordo, that the complete.
Oh yeah, so that's definitely interesting. I guess, yeah, the first one needed to break everything open so you can get a more clear shot. What was it like? I remember that movie. It was a movie scene where they did that, where they had to use one missile to break everything open, then use the second missile to blow everything up. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on the movie, but same concept, right? Yeah, well, good old tax money going to good use, right?
Complete package was struck. That is significant because that means, as you said, that it would probably be multiple passes and multiple bombs dropped there.
Yeah, so as we get ready, remember, they are, 7 hours ahead, and this would have been the window.
Definitely a blooper. I was surprised
to pull this off.
They didn't edit that out or something.
That it was very successful in 3 different sites. We should point out that the Israelis have worked really, as we've been reporting over the last week plus, very hard to take out the air defenses of Iran. Already in a first wave of runs back in October, the Israeli military and Air Force took out a lot of those surface-to-air missiles. Now, with this latest bombing run over the past few days, Jennifer, they have essentially eliminated it. And to talk to Israeli officials.
So essentially, Israel did all the grunt work for us just so we could come in and take the credit, I guess. But I will say this, Israel did their part in terms of that stuff. So consistently, not only attacking, but also defending and being able to control the skies. Pretty impressive. So shouts out to Israel on a military standpoint.
They said they have control of the skies, really a full path to Tehran, and they've been taking out sites and targets at their will, they suggested. And this led the way for this bombing run tonight.
Well, the Israeli Air Force has just been unbelievable in terms of their success since June 12th. They have been carrying out nonstop runs and strikes against Iranian targets, including the first night, straight. 14 Iranian nuclear scientists who were taken off the battlefield, as well as about 50 top generals in the Iranian military, including the head of their Air Force, their ballistic.
First of all, okay, look, I do want to point this out. If 50 of your generals are killed, I don't, like me personally, I don't think I can consider you a very high level threat, at least not to the United States, maybe to other countries, but 50 generals, bro, that's ridiculous. That's a lot. I mean, that may be like what Iran's military is. What I think about somewhere around like 1 million people or 800,000 and military personnel, bro. Like you probably only have like 100 generals, so that is an insane amount. Jeez, yeah, that's bad. I didn't realize it was that high up. But all right, yeah, let's continue on. That's such a crazy number. 50 generals. And then top scientists.
Missiles, their drone capabilities, their IRGC, the Revolutionary Guard Corps. So they have really had incredible success in terms of.
And that's not even us doing it. That's just Israel actually doing it.
That an F-16 or an F-35 could take out. They said a few days ago that they had air superiority. That then opens the way for the, and what that means is that they've taken out most of the air defense systems on the ground,
Yeah,
so
so
that then
makes it easy for
their
us.
planes could
It's
really
like
fly
easy
with
pickings,
impunity,
right?
and that also opened the way for those very, very, the stealth bombers, the B-2 bombers, which also are escorted, we're told, by F-22s and F-16s.
Oh, of
and
course,
also
yeah,
the
they're always
EA-18
escorted.
Growlers. They
That's
play
something
a very
new.
significant role. That's an
B-2s never
electronic
go anywhere
warfare
alone,
jammer,
or rarely ever
that
go anywhere
flies
alone.
with the B-2. And remember that second aircraft carrier, the USS Nimitz, had just gotten into the region earlier today.
Yeah, I was saying
You
that
had
was
the
last
USS
night, I
Vinson.
believe.
Those EA-18
Like early
Growlers are on
last
board
night,
those
or late
aircraft
last
carriers.
night.
They are absolutely essential for the B-2 to fly over Iran, even though the Israelis had air superiority
I did serve,
over the
yeah.
country.
I was in the Marine Corps for 9 years.
Jennifer, stand by if you would. Do I have Greg Palcott in Tel Aviv?
Yep, did 9 years in the Marine Corps. I was overseas and stateside. So. Oh, that's a good name. Yeah, you might have to change your name here soon. Yeah. Wilmon, definitely appreciate it, man. Thank you. Hey, everyone does their part, right? That's what makes us one of the best countries in the world, if not the best, right? We fight for one another, we take care of each other, and we do our part. So, yeah, cheers to that.
Tel Aviv control room, is he up and running?
Cheers.
Okay. All right. We're going to get him up and running. Interestingly enough, Jen, we have seen a lot of Israeli missiles and drones coming in really night after night into Israel. This night has not seen that much of that. There have been a few warnings, but not the same volley that we've heard in recent days. In addition to taking out the surface-to-air missiles and clearing the way for the ability to take out targets inside Iran, they've also really managed to take out a lot of missile sites and places that have been threats for missiles fired from Iran. There is a sense even that they were taking out the trucks that moved the missiles, as precise as the Israeli military targeting has been. You've been reporting on that over the last few days.
It's really extraordinary because when this
wrong
started,
in what term? Yeah, I guess maybe be more specific. Like, I guess wrong in what sense? Because I'm sure they're like, don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, I'll wait for you to let me know which sense. Because I think it doesn't help your country when you're funding terrorism, just in general, right? That's like us. I don't know. Yeah, just in general, right? Like, you funding terrorism definitely doesn't help your cause or your goal, especially if you don't end up being on the winning side of that, right? I think Israel is wrong. I mean, maybe. All right, so from what I've heard and what I've read and looked up on my own, Iran does have uranium, which allows them to actually create nuclear weapons. But from what I've seen from the Nuclear International Group or whatever, that they don't think that there's a high probability of them actually making nuclear weapons. Now, that's not to say that they won't, but I would say it's probably unlikely, especially when you're considering that first of all, you're not going to have a nuclear war with the United States. That's just idiotic. And any chance of you trying to do it to Israel, we would probably we're intervening now, and they don't even have nuclear weapons. So I think from that standpoint, they're not wrong for getting involved in that. Now, if you're talking about other situations or other wars or conflicts that they're engaged in, that's a whole different story, and I have to do more research on my end. But I think with Iran, I don't think they're wrong. I think that they have a solid case I mean, like I said, I wouldn't want our enemies to have nuclear weapons, so I don't see why Israel shouldn't have that same thought process and that be able to defend themselves. Even if it is preemptive, right? I've heard a lot of like preemptive is not allowed or it's legal. Man, first of all, if I have to stop something before it begins and I know it's going to cause me harm, I'm absolutely doing it. So that's just me personally, right? But I don't think they're wrong in that sense, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
This started.
I hope that clarified. If not, I'll try to make
the Iranians had about
my position more better or more known
ballistic missile launchers
in the future.
They have taken out, they think, about 55% of any of the missile launchers that the Iranians
Real humble.
have access
Thank you.
to
Thank
now.
you.
The Iranians
Yep. I mean,
have blown through quite a few.
I don't see why that would be such a.
Their missile stockpile. They had about, I think, about.
I don't see why that would be like such a dramatic thing to say. Is that you should be able to defend yourself as a nation, especially if you're not the one initiating the conflict or situation, or you don't have a good track record like Iran does, right? They don't have a good track record. Again, they fund terrorism all over the world, whether it's money, weapons, or tactics, or so many slew of things. So, yeah, that doesn't help in your case. Now, if say they weren't funding terrorism, right, and then Israel, for whatever reason, just nuclear aside, right, just start attacking them, that'd be a whole different story. But that isn't the case, and Iran has essentially shot themselves in the foot, at least from my perspective, right, or a logical perspective, I would say. So yeah, let's keep going.
3,000 ballistic missiles when this started, maybe between 1,000 to 2,000 that could reach Israel, and I think that they've fired about 500. But most importantly, the IDF and the Israeli Air Force have been able to take out, as you mentioned, almost half of the missile launchers. So each night we've seen fewer and fewer ballistic missiles being fired at Israel. All of the drones that have been fired at Israel have been taken out. We understand
them not having the ability
pilots,
to manufacture so many
American,
weapons.
Fighter pilots have been taking down those drones each night. So American pilots have been helping
World
as
War
well.
III, yep. Let's grab the popcorn.
U.S. Navy destroyers. There are 5 U.S. Navy destroyers in the Eastern Med off the coast of Israel who've been using their Aegis defense systems to shoot down ballistic missiles over Israel. So the U.S. has been very involved, along with U.S. soldiers who are on the ground. There are about 300 U.S. soldiers that are working at who are manning the THAAD and the Patriot PAC-3 missiles that are defending cities within Israel, and those are operated by U.S. soldiers, about 100 soldiers per THAAD missile.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox.
All right, so yeah, that just popped up, and I figured might as well get on that because that is something. Whenever we're gonna get into wars, I definitely like to be, if not ahead, at least at the bare minimum, keeping up with all the information because you never know nowadays, right? Especially being where I live and stuff like that. You'd like to know these kinds of things so you can get ahead of time and be prepared. We are gonna play. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do one more video from a different news source. Maybe we'll get some more details, and then I think after that we'll end the stream. We'll make it a short one today, but I did want to say this for you guys on and for you guys watching in the future. I am starting a new YouTube channel that's just going to be only politics. I'll keep this channel just straight gaming. That way it's not mixed and people aren't getting 2 different things that they want to watch on the same channel. So it's going to be Political Silk on YouTube. We'll be up and running on Monday. So it's going to be from 5 to 6 every day, or Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But I will have, shorts and stuff up every single day. So, but yeah, let's get back into the videos. So, let's see. Let's just type it in.